Yo, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing this afternoon, this Sunday afternoon? Happy Easter to you. This is your boy Food Junkie just coming at you with a little video. Haven't been on here in a minute, haven't been live for a minute. But you know, it's like I've been watching what's going on these streets or in this sector, but nothing's really has sparked my interest or anything like that. Same old stuff, different day, same old people doing the same old things, you know what I'm saying? Vying for attention, trying to say they're not. It is what it is. Same old shit, different day. But what has caught my attention is this new X-Men 97 on Disney Plus. It basically jumps back to when Professor Xavier was killed by Trisk, what I'm saying, by Trisk Industries, the Sentinels, and things of that nature. And while it's in the style of the cartoons of back in the days, what I'm saying, very blocky, very there's no shadowing, there's no shading, there's nothing like that. It's just very straightforward cartoons as we used to have it back in the day as I was growing up back in, 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, things of that nature. No more is it that um, very animated, very realistic type of cartoon. It's just very basic cartoon. It's set today, and which kind of is nostalgic for me. But upon watching the cartoon, watching the X-Men 97, the first episode of it, I was thinking to myself, like, dang, this is very much political and social in its essence. If you are a thinker, if you are someone who actually, you know, someone who actually watched his cartoons and watch what's going on in this world. As I always say, art is always imitating life, imitating art, imitating life. And what kind of struck me is that while you can always call the mutants the minorities in the society, because they always have been the minorities in society, you would wonder why the majority was scared of them, why they wanted to annihilate them, why they wanted to eradicate them, why they wanted to cage them, why they wanted to restrain them, why they didn't want to be involved in them or bothered with them. And if you had a mutant or minority in your family, why they would be shunned. It was really funny watching the first episode of X-Men 97. They actually said it. They actually voiced the fears. They actually voiced the opinions of why minorities are always being feared and demonized and trying to be eradicated. It's the fear of the majority losing control. It's the fear of the majority becoming a minority, losing power, losing substance, losing what they think is quote unquote rightfully theirs, although it's not. Everything evolves. Everything is constantly changing. If and when you stay stagnant, that is when you die. That is when you no longer grow. That when you no longer flourish. And I really caught that and got that watching that cartoon. Social and political content and cartoons. If you actually listening and watching and you're a critical thinker, you will start realizing that a lot of content that's out there that is quote unquote meant for kids or meant for the younger generation, you will see that it's a lot of adult type content in there, a lot of adult type um, views and attitudes, and it tells you exactly how people are really thinking and what's really going on in society. You don't have to agree with it, you don't have to understand it, but it's there. Because if you wonder why someone don't like someone because of the color of their skin, the nationality, or why someone's being demonized for something that you don't know them and they haven't proven to make your things true, minorities. But it's the same aspect, it's the same concept of that. Remember, because back in the days, I'm black, if y'all don't know, I'm a black man, you know what I'm saying? They didn't want black people to sweat on them. They didn't want black people to be in the same pool as they were. They didn't want to touch a black person. They didn't want to drink from the same water fountain as a black person. Why is that? Because they thought that they can get it. They thought that they can catch it. They thought that they could somehow contrast blackness or contract blackness, I should say. So while the metaphor is a mutant have radioactive sweat, or a mutant can spit acid, or mutant blood is, you know what I'm saying, whatever the mutant of the cartoon or movie is, whatever attributes they have, relate that to how this society have treated minorities. From down to saying that, oh, your brains are smaller, so you don't know as much. When it's proven that that's not true. When it's proven that that's not accurate. You wonder why, if you take a minority person, I say a black person, put them in any environment, they thrive. They can't be eradicated. They will find a way to survive and thrive when all odds are against them. So watching this X-Men 97 brought me back to, as a child, I always knew, like, okay, well, I couldn't put my finger on it as why the mutants was quote unquote considered the bad ones. And granted, as in the cartoon, as in society, there are some good ones, there are some bad ones. There are some ones who seem to be bad because they want to be treated fairly. They wanted to be treated like a human being. They want to be treated like everyone else. So they may look as though they are doing things that are, quote unquote, what the society considers as bad, opposed to all they're doing is asking to be treated fairly, to be allowed to exist. And there's some who don't care to exist or to conform or to um, be insulated with the majority. They don't mind being isolated. They don't mind doing their own thing, making their own moves. I just found that was really interesting. I found it really fun to watch through the eyes of an adult who have experienced this world and the injustices of this world, and how closely I can relate to the plight of a mutant. How I could closely articulate what it is that the prejudices, the injustices, the laws that was put into these cartoons and these movies and shows years ago is the fears and anger and frustrations that today the political climate is experiencing. And not really understanding, not really knowing it, not really grasping that concept. You hate someone who looks different than you. Why? Simply because they look different than you. Simply because they have different abilities than you have, that you don't have, that you were not born with. They have attributes that what's that word? How you doing, baby? They have attributes that they were born with that you were not born with. That was not under their control. It was a chemical mutation in their gene pool, in their DNA, that gave them these abilities to have these quote unquote special powers. Just like it is the melanin in our skin that we were born with, the sense of survival, the sense of being able to thrive wherever we go, the sense of being able to be confident in who we are, regardless of the world, society, trying to tell us that we're not enough. It's that same concept, the same mindset. Looking at it through the eyes of an adult, opposed to watching it through the eyes of a child, you start to see these similarities as to how these different things manifest themselves, how people's different fears and how people choose to tell a story without really telling the story was not, but you have to look for it, listen for it, watch for it, and actually hear it and be able to comprehend it and understand it, to be able to look at, oh wow, in the real world, in society, I'm considered a mutant. How you watch the mutants on TV and through X-Men, the Jubilees, the Rogues, the Gambits, the Wolverines, the Storms, the Cyclopses, the Jean Greys, you know what I'm saying, the Professor X, the Magnetos, you know what I'm saying, Firestorm, all the mutants, whatever you can name, how they're watched and hunted and looked at, and all they're trying to do is pretty much exist. In society, the minorities, what are we trying to do? Survive and exist, thrive. That's it. Like I said, in the mutant world, the cartoon world, some are good, some are bad. In the real world, some are good, some are bad. But just like there are some advocates for the mutants who are not mutants, just like non-mutants, there are some are bad. In the real world, majority, some are good, some are bad. But the biggest thing is it's the fear of being obsolete. It's the fear of not being in control. It's the fear of losing your status and your standard. And that's the biggest aspect of it. People are afraid to lose what they think is their status in this world. They're afraid that they're going to lose their upper hand. And they're also afraid that people are going to, when the quote unquote minorities become empowered, they're doing the same injustices and give them the same treatment that they have given onto them. It's that fear of not knowing, it's that fear of not understanding, not conforming. It's that fear of what if they get empowered? What if they do the same thing to us? What if they put us in bondage? What if they restrict our access to things? Opposed to understanding that not everyone have those ill intentions toward you. When you think that everyone's out to get you, it's because you're out to get everyone else. The large majority of people who are just existing don't have an agenda, aren't looking at things from angles, isn't trying to hurt or harm anyone. They're just simply trying to exist, to be their best selves, to do what they were meant to do on this world, in this world, on this earth. They're not trying to maneuver and scheme and do stuff in order for them to have an upper hand on you. They're trying to be them best, they're trying to be their best selves. But when you go out your way to do ugliness, to be evil, to do nastiness to people, to spread nastiness in society, because you hopefully that you're going to get them before they get you, that is where your mindset is. That's where your heart lies. That's where your malintentions happen. Not everyone have malintentions toward you. Not everyone is trying to take over in order for them to gain control and to gain power over you. So you're white knuckling this power so hard and so fiercely and so vehemently that you're losing focus on what you could gain if you open up your hands and be open to what is out there in the world, opposed to hold on so tight to what you have. What you have is great. What you have is fantastic. But if what you have is all you know, how could you ever grow? How could you ever move forward? Because you're so focused on keeping what you have. You're so focused on keeping the things that you think is rightfully yours. This is the last day of March. It's also Easter Sunday. Last month was Black History Month. This was the last month of Women's Empowerment Month. Between these two past months, the contributions of women and Black people, and even say Black women, the contribution to the world, to society, has been immense. But opposed to getting the credit, getting the accolades, getting the financial benefits of that, it was stolen. And then you're told to pick yourself up by your bootstraps. Well, what if someone cut your bootstraps? What if you have no boots? What if your boots were stolen? What if your boots was taken from you? What people really don't understand in this world, in this society, we all want to be entertained. We all want to, have a sense of euphoric entertainment where we don't have to think about anything. But if I'm watching something, and I say I'm a critical listener, critical thinker, a critical person, not in a bad way where I'm criticizing it, but I'm actually thinking about what's going on, what is being said, what am I being shown? It will always give me a glimpse of society. It will always be something that I could take from and learn from. Even if it's what not to do, how not to present, how not to step, how not to do something with that. There's still a lesson in that. Take from it what I can to learn to make myself a better person and disregard everything else. I've always said, I don't care about being liked. People get caught up in, oh, I don't like them, or I don't like him, or I don't like her. Who cares what you like? Life is about choices. If you don't like something, don't be entertained by it. Don't be involved in it. But if you respect someone, you know that what they do, who they are, what they're about is not ever going to be done in vain. It's always going to be true to who they are. If you like someone, they'll do something that'll make you dislike them, that you'll fall out with them. But if you respect someone for who they truly are, who they've shown you that they are, you will always understand and respect the fact that they are just being themselves. Yeah, as a need to escape, but escapism, that's what I was looking for. Escapism, thank you. But at the same time, you still be sure to learn something from it. You don't go into any situation blindly. You shouldn't go into any viewing situation blindly, any conversational situation blindly, even any work situation blindly, any entertainment system blindly. You should always be looking for something to take from that situation, from that conversation, from that viewing thing. When people say, well, this is just YouTube, I'm just having fun. It's always fun until it starts affecting you adversely in a negative way. Y'all will watch each other get doxxed. Y'all will watch each other get talked about, get cussed out, and think that you're different. You will watch each other cuss each other out, dox each other, fight each other, just say the most vile, disgusting things. And when your feelings get hurt, or when you get tired of the mess, then you won't change. It's sad that this video I'm making right now have what? 6 people in the chat. I'm not going to be messy for anyone to get more numbers. I'm not going to cuss, fuss, scream, and yell and lower my standards of who I am as an individual to entertain the masses who can't even comprehend the simple fact that watching a cartoon, you can see what's going on in society in that cartoon. Can't even grasp that concept that when the majority is treating the minority badly, it's because it's the fear of them losing what they got. Who can't pull that from a cartoon? Call me elitist, call me uppity, call me snobby, call me whatever you want to call me. Arrogant. I'll be happy to wear all those titles because I would never lower myself to try to entertain people, even when I was doing the mess and the cussing and the fussing and the nonsense. What's up, Love the Shop? How you doing, baby? Even when I was involved in that, I still had a level of standard that I'm not going to go through. And my level of standard isn't meaning that I'm going to not cuss your ass out, not drag you to hell and back, and then back again to hell. No, that's not the standard. The standard is I'm only going to do it so often before I'm done with it. I'm not going to harp on something for too long because I realize that these are just words. That's why I've never addressed everyone. I don't address everyone. I won't address everyone. It's not for me to entertain people who are bored in their real lives. I'm sorry, I don't get paid for that here. I came on here not to get paid. I came on here to voice an opinion based on what I see out here in the world and what I see online. And I got distracted for a moment because I was caught up in, let me get some numbers right quick. Until I realized the people that watching me cuss and fuss and act a fool don't even like themselves. Only get entertained by nonsense and mess. And I've always said that if this is what you find entertaining every moment of every day or your online situation is what you cultivate in your real lives. What you cooking, Love the Shop, baby? What you cooking? But yeah, it was just real funny watching X-Men 97 on Disney Plus. And they kept saying throughout the cartoon, the, you're taking our places. They're gonna take our places. We're gonna become obsolete. We're not gonna be in control. I'm like, hold up. Is anyone else hearing this? Is anyone else recognizing what's going on? This cartoon is speaking to what's going on in society. You calling them humans and you calling them mutants, it's basically the majority and minorities. I'm just saying, maybe I think too much. Maybe I, do whatever. But yeah, all the mess, it's not even entertaining to me. It's not even fun to me. It's like I never will have been really. It's something I did for a quick moment. But I've always been a person, like I said, always been a critical thinker, always been someone who sees what's not there, always hears what's not there, always gets to decipher, always gets to look at something critically and come up with a concept or a way of thinking about something. And it's never been about a number. Because even when people try to read, oh, well, you have no numbers. The numbers that I have that counts, you don't have. You have hundreds of people in your face smiling and grinning online, but yet your bank account is empty. You rob Peter to pay Paul. You online begging for people to help you get something. You have a tragedy in your family or a tragedy with your life. You're asked out. The numbers that need to help me out that situation, I got. You know what I'm saying? The numbers that I need to get me out of a bind, I have those in spades. You never heard me on here asking for money for a vacation, money for food, money for transmission, money for school supplies, money for art supplies, money for fabrics. Because there's been about money for me on here. As talented as I am, as much stuff as I do, I used to show y'all what I used to do, well, what I do, as far as the art and the fashion and the designing and the making of this and the making of that was not commission paintings and stuff like that. I was just show y'all all that. That's not what y'all want. So in this case, I'll be the minority within the minorities. Because I'm always going to be true to who I am. I'm always going to be true to what I am. I'm always going to see things and say things as they are. Not as I hope them to be, not as I wish them to be, not as they could be, but as they truly are. I didn't want much, you guys. I just want to think about that. I was thinking about that. I finished watching the cartoon. I was just thinking, like, damn, hold up, this is deep. It's deeper than just this cartoon. It really is about political and social, a political and social climate, a political and social mindset of people thinking that someone who is different than they are bad, are evil. You know. I mean, you gotta give them something to chew on, man. You gotta give them something to chew on. You can't be just, cussing and fussing all the time. Like I said, I'm over that phase. Like I said, I don't need to make announcements. I don't need to leave. I don't need to I come when I want to come, say what I want to say, and do what I need to do. I don't need to make no grand gestures. It is what it is, and whoever finds it, finds it. Whoever don't. But yeah, I just find it really interesting. If y'all haven't seen um, X-Men '97, check it out and tell me if you caught what I caught. You know what I'm saying? Or am I just thinking too much? You know. But yeah, just wants to come to you guys and say, hey, I haven't talked to you in a couple minutes, but it is what it is. Love you guys. Hope you guys had a great day. Hope you guys have a safe and happy Easter. Hope you guys don't play too many practical jokes tomorrow on April Fool's Day. Yeah. Hope everything is everything. Hope you guys, um, yeah, are happy and safe and getting through what we're getting through in this country, in this society, in this time right now, because there's a lot going on. There's a lot of political unrest. There's a lot of financial unrest in this world right now. Hope everyone is being safe and being smart with their time, with their money, with their energy, with their situation. We got to be safe with smart about it. We can't just sit around acting like it's not going to affect us, regardless how much or how little you have. Sooner or later, it's going to touch all of us in some way, shape, or form. If that means I can't have a whole ribeye, I can only have half a ribeye. That's how it's going to affect me. You know what I'm saying? If I can't have a whole bone-in ribeye, I just gotta get a regular ribeye. Then go down to a sirloin. Ugh, sorry, but yeah, that's what it means. If I can't have a whole lobster, I gotta get down to the claws. That's what it means. I gotta go get the imitation crab meat. That's what it means. It affects all of us. But yeah, hope everyone's being safe, everyone being cool, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have a great day. This is your boy Food Junkie. I love you guys for being here. But as always, it's not important that I love you guys. It's more important you love yourself, you love someone else, you respect yourself, and you definitely respect someone else. And you guys check out if you have Disney Plus. X-Men 97. It's really deep. It really is deep. Right. If I had to eat a New York strip, ugh, instead of a filet mignon, I guess I can. I guess. Y'all have a great day, you guys. Until next time, this is your boy Food Junkie. I'll talk to you crazy kids later. Bye.